We're gonna do some streaming here for Martial Power Monday. We're building out the mechanics for a unified mana point system for martial characters in general. I am trying to verify that I am actually live. Let's see how that verify sits. That I am actually live. Sounds pretty good. Hey, if you know how YouTube works, you know that algorithms and stuff really love people that love my work. So like, subscribe, share. I've just posted to Twitter that I've gone live. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you always get a notification when we're firing up stream to do some more shenanigans like this. And I'm just going to take a moment here to just drop anchor on the different Discord channels where I like to sharpen my knives and my mind at, including the DMsGuild Designer Lounge, OBS's DTRPG Workshop Discord channel, Indestructible Designosphere, Trent Monk Temple, Dungeoneer Pack, Fry Mini, Zipperon, Clear It Corner, Rich Mary. We'll drop this into the D&D main flagship Discord channel, as well as the D&D Beyond advertisements, but it looks like D&D advertisements likes to delete people's advertisements after a few days. So again, like, subscribe, follow, share, blah. Also down in the description below, there is a link to DMsGuild work, which I'm showcasing here on the cover as usual. These are various products that I've created using the unified mana system that we're going to be using today, but this applies, these works so far apply to the half casting and like hybrid classes. So like the Arcane Trickster, Eldritch Knight for fighters, you know, monks, rangers, paladins, all the full caster stuff. But what we are currently, our current endeavor is to continue that paradigm and build out a consistent system across all classes, so that the barbarian, any kind of fighter, any kind of arcane, any kind of rogue, they all have access to these martial powers as alternate spellcasting lists, which we've talked about for 30 some odd episodes at this point, and we're getting pretty good at it. My home table's at 17th level now, and we're playtesting up to 5th rank of power. And if you check in the Patreon link in the description down below, it'll lead you to this very same Martial Powers open playtest content document that's read only, but it allows you to see it cover to cover, the rough draft. This is pre-edits. Once we get into edits and have the actual text wording for how this stuff works, we'll get that back from editing. We can't have the final edited version free for playtesting. That's something that will be free to view on DMsGuild. We just want to respect OBS's publishing rules. So rough mechanics, we can post that anywhere, including most of this is already inside of the player's handbook and Tasha's and Splat books. We've just taken all these mechanics and converted them into the unified mana system that we've talked about on various streams previous to this one in the Martial Powers playtest stream. It's evolved quite a bit, and at this point we're kicking down to the end of the document. And where are we at right now? We're still playing with magic paradigms and damage types. Let me tell you, this has been a lot more of a noodle for me than the spell point system that we had developed using the tap on tap burn mechanics. Those are going to be, by the way, going through a massive restructuring in 2024 after E6 drops. Obviously, 1D&D 6th edition is making enough mechanical changes to all the classes and possibly how spellcasting works that we're going to need to revisit this content. But the good news to that is that since this is released, Theros, Strixhaven, and who knows, maybe even another Magic the Gathering book will drop in the meantime. So we want to make sure that we just stay on the bleeding edge of what's relevant for actual play of D&D, since Wizard of the Coast is the best opportunity we have of seeing D&D plus MTG game mechanics being presented to us for official use, which of course we're taking a whole marathon worth of steps longer to bring that mana fantasy to life for people. And of course, along the way, there's Elemental Key that we came up with which takes the same concept of devoted mana systems and devoting spell points to the different aspects of a magic paradigm system into the 4 elements of air, earth, fire, and water. And so if you want to use fire magic, you're going to learn a fire discipline and use fire mana to channel that fire discipline. So if you're only a firebender, as it were, or a fire channeler, then you only need to devote your mana to fire. If you are, say, going with a direction of steam, where you want to have both fire and water, then you would learn, you'd prepare your list of fire and water disciplines, and then you divide up each short rest. You'd break up your mana pool into fire and water key for you to choose to spend on different effects. The limited power budget that a monk has generally lends it to having one specific element that it would be bending, such as being an earthbender or an airbender or fire water bender. This system, by the way, if you picked up the lacer from DMsGuild, that is a really interesting attempt to convert Avatar: The Last Airbender into a monk paradigm. We take it just a step further by taking all that ki and making it that you're actually bending earth instead of just using ki and narrating as being earth bending or air bending. It's we're devoting your ki to that specific element, which sort of narratively bonds you to that element. Whereas, say, the Avatar, which can wield all four elements together, you could argue that that the Avatar, whichever, Aang or whoever, is actually using universal ki that can on the fly choose which element they're going to devote their ki to, just as the player's handbook or universal spell points that we have in this bundle. The universal spell points takes that same approach, where the ki or the spell points remain generic as they do in the DMG page 288, and that the narrative mechanics simply just becomes just that. It's just narrative flavor. If you want to play a Selesnya Druid, or maybe if you're using martial powers, it'd be a Selesnya Ranger. Selesnya, for instance, is devoted to white and green magic. So if you just want to keep it generic, you can just have your martial power points, your mana as a pool, and any powers that you learn, are going to be aligned with Selesnya and would basically be white and or green magic. And you don't have to distinguish between the two, but if you want to take that mechanic further, you can then choose that, well, the only type of magic that my character is going to wield will be white and green magic. And then taking it a step further, you could then say that, well, I want strike powers specifically to be, say, white magic, while I want exploits and say reactions to be green magic. So you can silo each of the 5 different disciplines of power into 1, 2, up to 5 if you really wanted to divide your pool into 5 different color resources, or up to 4 using the 4-color magic paradigm. You could decide to break up those different disciplines of power that we have listed above into the specific aspects of whatever magic paradigm it is that you're using. And we've been trying to, these past couple weeks, it was so easy with the color mana system, because the only thing we're working with is color mana. So when we go into the spell list, the 500 some odd spells or whatever, we can just say what each color of those spells are, because Magic the Gathering is an extensive magic system with incredible narrative and mechanical depth that lends itself well to the D&D spellcasting system. Go ahead and read about it for free. So I just clicked on the DMsGuild link below, and all the books, all the previews, like you click on the eye on your mobile phone or click full preview, see full preview underneath the here, I'll show you real quick. Well, actually, I just want to get back to work. So it's 1:18 now. I've got about an hour for me to futz around, and I think I'm starting to figure out a way to structure this stuff. I just want to put a timer on my clock here to make sure that I'm kicking through content quickly. I've got about an hour, and then I got to go back to my day job. I'll be back online tonight in about a little less than 6 hours, I reckon, about 6 hours, for more Eberron cartography, and we'll do that for a few hours, and then we'll check out for the night. So, but yes, so we're working with Magic Paradigms right now, and we've been attempting to noodle our way around inside of this paradigm system so that it just makes sense, you know. It was so easy with just Magic because the only thing we were offering was Magic. But with this, we're trying to create a more broad net where you can introduce any Magic paradigm that you want, including things like smarts, grit, and luck as like a triad of sources of magic that are active for your character. Or it could be like a blend of light and shadow, or life and death, where you're having those two paradigms working together inside of your character. You could just go with a generic description that these things are present. So whenever you're using a power, you're just narratively describing what the effect is. So let's do that. Pick a paradigm. Pick a paradigm. Pick which aspects of the paradigm represent your character. For the adventure, character, present. Pick which aspects of the paradigm represent your character. Assign, devote. Devote which disciplines pick which disciplines of power are devoted to the aspects of magic, are devoted to your character's aspects of power. Optional, choose how much mana is devoted to each of its magic aspects. Of its aspects of magic. A magic paradigm is a means of creating new narratives for channeling magical power through your character. The default paradigm provided in the PHB is the 8 schools of magic. Oops, wrong button there. Magic, including abjuration, abjuration, conjuration, necromancy, etc. But this is only one potential. This is only one potential Others include the light and shadow, good and evil. Or more light and shadow, or comma, or a more balanced triad of good, neutral, and evil. Or body, mind, and soul. These can all be these are all different magic paradigms that can represent your character. You can all represent what sources of power of magic your character is devoted to. Magic paradigm is largely narrative. Thematically, there's no difference in choosing to deal thematically. Visually, there's no difference between the 4 elements paradigm using fire magic or the 5 color paradigm using red magic to deal fire damage when channeling. Let's find a fire. Let's find a strike power that automatically deals fire damage. Flaming strike. Visually, there may be no difference between the 8 So magic paradigm is largely narrative. Visually, there may be no difference between the 8 schools paradigm using evocation magic, the 4 elements paradigm using fire magic, or the 5 color paradigm using red magic to deal fire damage when channeling the flaming strike power. Mechanically, you spend 1 point of mana. Mechanically, you learn, you learn the flaming strike power. Make an attack, and if you hit, you can then burn 1 or more. You can then spend 1 or more mana to channel flaming strike, dealing additional fire damage to the target hit. Okay, so let's see. Mechanically, you learn the flaming strike power, make an attack, and if you hit, you can then spend 1 or more mana to channel flaming strike, dealing additional fire damage to the target. Period. Mechanically. But narratively, a character can choose to, can choose to roleplay their character differently if using the 8 schools paradigm of learning the formula and magical laws of evocation for channeling as opposed to using the for elements paradigm. You can depict the character as being infused with magic from elemental spirit tutors teaching the character how to channel fire from spirit's nature. Mechanics don't change. Expressive powers can be formed by which magic paradigm you choose for your character. Integrating, implementing magic paradigms. When during character creation. 1. Pick a paradigm. 2. Pick which aspects represent your character. 3. Pick which disciplines of power devoted to each to your character's aspects. And then 4. Optional. Choose how much mana in your character's pool is devoted to each of its aspects of magic. Each chosen aspect of magic. There we go. This is really simplifying that process. It took me, well, you guys watch me here on stream. This is probably my 3rd session of just bashing my head against the magic paradigms. This seems to be the most straightforward way of doing it. So there's no real need to have any kind of mechanical implementation or changes to how any of the powers above work until you get to step 4. So that keeps it really simple. If you just want to use 5-color magic, like that Celestine example from earlier, and you just want to say your Selesnya, so all the powers that I channel are using white and or green magic, then great. When you channel a power, just describe away, make it fun, and then of course the DM on the other side can express, you know, the Hellguard, the Hellguard warrior points a finger at you and demands that you be gone, and a surge of cold darkness envelops your character as you disappear from the battle map. That could be expressed as, say, black magic using banishment, or banishment to pull your character from the battlefield if they fail their saving throw, for instance. So super straightforward, but at the same time, it could be the Cardinal Sentry, tired of your shenanigans at the gates of heaven, raises a hand and beckons you be gone, and a surge of white energy envelops your character and you disappear from the battlefield. So that would be using white magic to describe the same banishment, but it just feels a little differently, and you're providing some internal narrative about what these colors mean and what their effects could be. But there's so much variety that, like, you could choose to assign Banishing Strike to green magic if you wanted to, and in a rustle of leaves and a blow of wind, your character disappears from the battlefield like a flickering flame in a cold breeze, and that could feel more like green magic. Or if you're using the elemental paradigm, that could be like air magic that banished your character from the battlefield. These all have different narrative feels that ultimately, at these earlier stages, it's just flavor text. You're just defining yourself as an air elementalist, or you're defining yourself as a celestial warrior, or you're defining yourself as a demonic partner. So the flavor, the narrative that you go with is going to help determine which aspects of the magic paradigm it is that you're choosing to use. So implementing magic powers, incorporating a magic paradigm into characters follows 4 general steps during character creation. Pick a paradigm. So let's go with, let's see, picking a magic paradigm. Picking a magic paradigm, picking aspects of magic, for your character. Let's go with adding magic paradigms to a campaign, picking aspects of magic for your character. Go with picking which. We'll go with devoting disciplines of power to aspects of magic. And then devoting mana to each discipline. There. Okay, so that's our 4 aspects, like the four stages of building. So let's see, adding magic paradigms. Generally, session 0, the campaign setting and session 0 can is a natural point in character creation to discuss with the DM and other players what magic paradigms will be present in the campaign. The DM may be seeking the campaign may have a very strictly defined magic paradigm that's tied to that's intrinsic to the a particular magic paradigm. For example, Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros are all settings in the Magic the Gathering are all worlds in the Magic the Gathering game. So using the 5-color magic, so using the 5-color magic paradigm is an intuitive decision. A campaign set a campaign centered a Descent into Avernus campaign based in Forgotten Realms can lend can retain the 8 schools of magic that is the default D&D campaign paradigm, the default D&D magic paradigm, or instead with the themes of good versus evil and the overarching theme of redemption. The overarching, is that what that is? The overarching theme of redemption. A good versus evil. Or an alignment good versus evil, and law versus chaos. Can be implemented to embrace, to further reinforce the narrative theme above the These are only two examples of how magic paradigms can be present. Generally, a DM will establish since the theme of the campaign will lean towards one paradigm or another. Once a paradigm is chosen for the campaign, for the overall campaign, all new characters can be built with the chosen paradigm as the source of magic and the character's power. see what's next. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, great. So how are we doing on time? My spider senses are tingling. I need to pay attention to that. How long have we been going here? I might cut the stream short today, actually. Recording. We've been live for 45 minutes. Okay, so we'll take the next 15 minutes. We'll flesh out we'll talk a little bit about aspects, and then we'll go ahead and cut stream. And then when we pick up next time, we will continue further defining the aspects of power, devoting disciplines of power to aspects of magic, and then the hard mechanics that go into devoting the magic. I am fatigued today, man. Once a magic paradigm is determined for the campaign, the character will be an aspect of magic is an aspect of magic refers to the aspects of magic refer to how the magic paradigm is divided into different air and fire are two of the four aspects of two aspects of the four element magic paradigm, while white and blue are two aspects of the five color magic paradigm. I'll go ahead and click that over. I have either when I get this text done or I finish the next 20 minutes, either way, I'll be checking out. I suspect I'll be checking out here in the next couple sentences. So it'll be a short day today, but I'm really happy with the framing we now have for how magic paradigms work. This is simplifying everything so much more. It's just making it easy to digest, which I am absolutely thrilled about. This is a 20, and this is 11. So we could probably change this to something like 14. Implementing magic paradigms. Put that there. Aspects of magic. This again is largely narrative. This again is largely narrative. Players can discuss with the DM whether characters will have access to all aspects of the paradigm or only a selection of the aspects. For example, in the Ravnica campaign setting, a Boros character belonging to the, for example, in the Ravnica campaign setting, a character with the Azorius Senate background uses white and blue magic specifically. For elements, paradigm. Such as the default assumption of monks choosing the way of the four elements. They can use all. A DM can choose to allow a character to use all aspects of a magic paradigm as well. Alternatively, monks choosing the way of the four elements, they can use all four elements together. They can combine. They can combine. They can combine use of all. They can combine. They can. They can combine use of all four elements together. Once the once the aspects of magic available to the character is determined, then the player and DM can choose how each discipline is devoted to each aspect of magic. And that is what we will pick up on next week. So we're going to go ahead and cut stream here. Oops, that's the wrong button. Implementing magic, picking aspects for a character, and next we'll get into devoting disciplines of power to aspects of magic. So there we go. So far so good. It's pretty the mechanics here are proving to be pretty simple. It's the examples of implementation that is going to take more depth in the document to get across. So, but luckily this is just a DM section appendix sort of thing. Like, it doesn't really affect the overall mechanics of the game, and we'll talk about how those different effects when we get into this, the devoting disciplines of power to aspects of magic and devoting mana to each discipline of power. We'll see how those things sort out, and then we'll be able to start looking at all the different energy damage types and schools and all that stuff, how all that stuff plays together. So that's what we're going to do next week. A short session this week. I got to get back to work. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, and I'll be back on later on tonight in about 5 hours or so. I'll be back on to do Eberron adventure cartography for the 8th level adventure, Crystals of Mabar, which takes the characters from into a Mabar manifest zone to find out what the cause is and how to stop it from further infesting the land. So we're going to do cartography with that, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning as well. So we're back on in 5 hours for Eberron stuff, and we'll be back tomorrow morning for more Spelljammer map design work as well. And we're just going to keep doing stuff every day until everything is done and we can add something new to our docket. So like, subscribe, definitely check out the Color Mana Mechanic books that I have on DMsGuild. They're free for you to view and discounted for you to purchase using that link. Follow me on Twitter, and if you know where I'm at on Discord, drop by and say hey. And looking forward to catching up with everybody. So I will see you all on the other side, and thanks a lot for being a part of the journey. Cheers.